What's going on? This is Cam Kirk, photographer. You're watching ThisIs50.com.
Yo, what's good? It's DJ Thorough, aka Thorough Zano, the bridge to the streets. Right now, you're watching the hottest in the streets, right here on ThisIs50.com. Got a special guest in the building, man. Introduce yourself.
Yo, man, Cam Kirk, photographer based out of Atlanta. You know, enjoying this time in New York.
Thank you for coming through.
Me.
Now, he was being very modest, man. All right. See, let me give him his proper introduction here.
All right.
All right. This man has photographed your favorite trap stars. All right. With that being Jeezy, 2 Chainz, Gucci Man, Young Thug, etc., etc. How in the world did you form a relationship with all these guys, and how'd you get your start?
Man, Atlanta's small, so once you meet one, you'd be surprised at how quick you can meet everybody. So
right.
I would say who really took me through the scene was working with Young Scooter.
Young Scooter.
I got connected with Young Scooter in 2012.
All right.
You know what I mean? Fresh out of college. I had just graduated college, trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And I stumbled upon, I had a little camera that was collecting dust, and I got an opportunity to actually do some work for Young Scooter. And working with him, he brought me around Gucci Man, brought me around Young Dolph, brought me around Young Thug,
right.
Bankroll Fresh, Jose Guapo. I met the Migos through him early. And from there, just my work people just recognized me from being in those environments, and work I did with them, and it just gave me a shot to keep it going.
Right. Now you're responsible for Gucci Man's Trap House exhibition, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so the Trap God exhibit came together in 2015. When I was working with Scooter, I had the privilege to be in the presence of Gucci, even though I didn't technically work for Gucci.
Right.
So I would just be around, and they might be in a session together, I'd be in the corner of the room hanging out or whatever. So I remember when I used to be around Gucci, I used to be so nervous to actually get a shot at him. Like, I didn't never want him to know I was actually taking photos of him. You know what I mean? Because he's not.
So you were sneaking, taking photos?
I was sneaking every photo I took. Just like trying to be discreet,
like
take
this?
a shot, not even looking, just push the button, not looking.
You like this?
Yeah, just chilling. He actually never knew I took any
He never
photos
figured it out.
He never figured it out. So it was one day when he got locked up, I had been sitting on all these photos because I never put them out. I was like, I'm not about to put them out. And he can say something like, how'd you get this photo? So I never released them. And when he was locked up, I was like, man, he's gonna be gone for a minute.
You were like, he can't kick my ass now. I'm gonna put him out, right?
One, he can't do that, and then 2, it's just like, you know what I mean? I need to do some stuff to keep his name relevant.
Right.
I'm the only one with these photos. No one else can get a photo of Gucci, so the value of those photos was worth so much to me at that time. So I just started slowly every now and then releasing a few on Instagram, and he had got word of it in jail, and people were hitting him like, yo, this kid Cam that used to be around, man, he got some crazy photos of you. And he reached out, he was like, man, send me some photos. So I sent him the photos when he was in jail. And then he was like, man, I didn't even know you were taking these photos at this time. Like, this shit's amazing. So he had called me and was like, man, I need your help just keeping the name relevant, whatever you can do. Like, send some photos to my engineer so we can use for the covers when he was dropping the album every damn day, I think, when he was locked up.
Yeah, he was on Tupac shit.
Yeah, so he was releasing my photos, the covers and everything.
Right.
So I was like, all right, like, whatever. So a part of that, when he hit me about that, I was like, man, I don't want these photos to just live on Instagram or live. These photos mean something to me.
Right.
They represent like a time period in my career that meant a lot to me, like the beginning. So I was like, man, I want to do something big and not only show my respects to Gucci for just even allowing me to be around him. Like, he didn't have to let me be around. There's a lot of people that wasn't around, you know what I mean? So just to let me, experience those moments and live those moments with them, I was like, man, I want to do something big to pay my respects, and that's where the Trap God exhibit, the idea for it came about.
Right.
Originally, I wanted to do it in a white room, regular gallery style. It's my first ever exhibit. I'm like, what do photographers do? White wall, frame it up. And I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and I was like, yeah, I'm about to finally do this thing. And we were just talking over ideas, and originally I was like, man, I might make it fun and bring an old stove into the gallery, like make it cool. And then I was just like, man, it'd be real cool if I did it in an actual trap house.
Right.
And I just remember his face lighting up, like, oh, that's the idea. Like, that's it. And then from there, I found a trap house in East
So you
Atlanta.
actually went to a real trap house?
Yeah, we did it at a real trap house.
An active trap house. Wow, okay.
Well, to be honest, actually, the one we chose to do it at originally,
right.
I'm not gonna say it was active or not.
Of course not.
But I would say that
this is not indicted.com.
Yeah,
I got you.
That house went through some issues.
Right.
come 2 weeks before us having to be able to use it.
Right.
So I ended up having to switch it up.
Right.
But I actually ended up finding a better spot. I found an abandoned church that had been turned into a house. You know what I mean? So
which is pretty crazy.
Which is pretty crazy.
Which
so
is actually super crazy.
Yeah,
but okay.
Yeah. In Atlanta, man, you never know what you see on the streets.
Yeah.
A lot of churches that right in the middle of the hood. So I gotta thank artists by name Man Savage, based out of Atlanta, for connecting me with the house, and my boy Moo let me use it. And originally when I saw it, I was like, damn, I don't know about this. I was so set on a typical, the trap house. I wanted the burglar bar door, and I wanted that look. But when I went in there and I thought about it, and people were telling me about it, it was like, man, if I was a trap god, where would I live? I would live in the church, and then I would live in the trap house, and they were combined.
Right.
So this house, when you walk in, the one room is church. It's pews, it's an altar, like all the stuff that the church just left behind. You go through one door to the right, it's security cameras, burglar bar doors, it's a old stove, all this stuff. So I was like, man, it's the perfect environment. You know what I mean? So when we had that set up, then we was just having fun with it. We like, man, we got a real trap house in the hood. What can we do to make it even more fun? Then we hired actors. We said we have actors that work in the trap house. So we hired someone that represented a pastor of the house. So he walked around with a Bible in one hand and an AK-47 in the other hand. And then we had girls that worked in the house, and they were cooking up whatever the drugs, whatever the simulation we were doing. And then we had a guy that was the owner of the trap house. So we had like a gangster who went through the crowd and like told you to get out, basically, like what y'all doing in my house type of situation.
Right.
So it just gave you this feeling when you walked into the spot, like this is not an event. Like I'm not supposed to be here. Like you know what I mean? So it had that environment that really like tricked you into thinking that, and it took you into the mode of the photo.
Let me stop you right there. Now, did you guys get any backlash from any community activists? Because that's like blasphemy to be doing that in a church. Like nobody came out and was like, yo.
Surprisingly, that was a fear of mine. That you know what I mean? I grew up in the church. My family they all practice Christianity, and I thought about it for a minute. Like, you know what I mean? But honestly, no one said anything about it.
No one said anything.
Nah. Never even got a single.
You didn't get a call from Jesse Jackson or nobody.
No calls, no comments, nothing. Maybe it went under their radar.
It just went under the radar.
Too late. Yeah, it was a really life-changing event.
Right.
Life-changing for real.
Right. So when you were sneaking taking these photos of Gucci Mane, did you have like maybe a bad experience with taking pictures of celebrities, and maybe why did you feel the need to hide it when you were clearly welcome there? You were there for that, right?
I was there on behalf of his artists.
But not to be taking pictures.
But not of Gucci.
Okay, I got you.
So at that time, although me and Gucci always had respect, and he always treated me with respect, I will say that was one of the things that actually made me like him. Was out of all the artists I've been around, he's one of the first ones early on to address me by my name and not photographer, hey you. He always showed the utmost respect, but I always knew that Gucci's a very private person. And even to this day, you got to know when to turn the camera off with him and know when to be, you know what I mean?
Right.
So some of these moments, I'm sure he appreciated now because I didn't disrupt the moment to get the photo.
Right.
But I'm never the photographer that's all in your face. Hey, pose. I've never been there. So I kind of developed my style having to be like that. And a lot of that comes from just personality. Like, I don't have a fear of people like that, but I'm a little antisocial at times where I could be to myself. And I never try to like do too much. You know what I mean? Because one thing about a lot of the artists in Atlanta is they're not typical artists. They're not like people that are always camera ready and always ready to be taking photos of. These guys are, you know what I mean? They are what they are. You know what I mean? So photos isn't a big thing in that scene out there. At least it wasn't.
Right.
So just anybody taking photos of them, they feel uncomfortable. They start feeling weird. So I always would try to sneak because I always feel like those were the best shots anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how you get a real moment captured versus them trying to flaunt or flash or put on their chains to take the photo. I wanted that shot that
a genuine
spoke
photo,
to who you really are and not, you know what I mean, the artist's name.
Now, have you ever had a bad experience with your technique and you got caught and and it was like, yo, what the fuck?
Actually, I can't say that I have.
You're that good, huh?
Yeah, nothing stands out. I mean, after I got known for it, it became something that artists respected from me.
Right.
So they respected the fact that when I'm in a room, they never have to even talk to me. But they know when the event's over or the studio session's over, they can send me a text and say, send me some photos.
Right.
And I never even talk to you the whole time in there. And they know whatever was going on, I saw Cam, so I know he was shooting something.
Right.
I don't know when he took the photo, but I know he got a photo. So it became something that people kind of knew me for, and it was like, all right, we like him because he doesn't disrupt the mode. We can keep doing what we're doing. We never have to worry about a flash going off or shit to confuse us. It's just like we are ourselves, and he captures that.
Right. Let's talk about some of your work and where it's been published.
Yeah. So to this date, my work has been published in pretty much every media.
Double
outlet,
XL.
Of course, Double XL. What I'm most proud of is Rolling Stone. I've been doing a lot of work with them.
You can't go any higher than that with media publications.
Well,
that's it.
Yeah, I hope it can go higher. I don't know. I don't want to cap
as far as
I feel you though. Yeah, because Rolling Stone was the first one that.
There's nowhere to go as far as magazines.
When I told my mom, she freaked out.
You made it.
You shooting for Rolling Stone?
You made it, brother.
I was like, well, yeah, all right.
You did. Let me borrow $5.
Oh man, come on, man. I'm in your home. You got the money. Yeah. So I shot for Rolling Stone, Complex, Fader, Vice. I did the Noisy Atlanta with Vice, the whole documentary.
Right.
So pretty much everywhere. New York Times has published some of my stuff.
Right.
I want to get more into that though, like more often. Like a lot of my relationships with artists are so genuine.
Right.
That majority of my shoots are not business oriented. It's like, hey Cam, where you at? Oh yeah, I'm up the block. All right, pull up. It's like stuff like that. So it's not so much like we have a shoot scheduled at 5 and talking to managers. So I want to get more into like working for actual publications and doing shoots and scheduled shoots and stuff like that.
Right. Okay. Well, who would your dream shoot be? Like, if you could shoot any artist, who would that be for you? Like,
I got a few, but since I'm in New York, I gotta go with the New Yorkers first. I'm really big on like early 2000s hip hop, so I gotta say I would love to shoot 50. I actually almost had an opportunity, or someone told me, I don't know, I know the driver, he might can get you a shoot with 50. I was like, hey, if it happens, I'm with it. I'm super with that. Cameron is a huge influence in me.
It just so happens I know both of these guys.
We might have to set something up, man. We share the same name, so Cam has definitely been a huge influence to me, and would love that opportunity. Big fan of Nas. Would love to one day capture a moment with him. On the younger side, I'm really into Designer.
Designer? Wow, that's a surprise.
Yeah, a lot of people.
And what's it about Designer that makes you want to? His energy?
His energy. He seems like he's having fun.
Right.
And I think that's infectious. Like when you see somebody that's just genuinely being themselves and having fun, it just makes you want to be around.
Right.
Like, to me, like I haven't met him in person, but just from the interviews, I've never seen him not smiling or whatever sound effects he make. He just seemed like we're gonna get it. He just seemed like we're gonna get some good ass photos.
I think this should be a Designer doll. You know when you pull the string and
they might need to do that. I really just want to know if he really acts like that in person. Like,
yes.
He talk like that.
Yes.
Okay, see, that's why I want to shoot.
I don't know what he's on, but yes, he does.
See, I'm intrigued, and that makes me want to capture him. So he's one for sure I would love to work with. Hopefully that comes through, through the pipeline soon. And those are probably my top ones, you know what I mean? That I would say that if I got that opportunity, that would be dope.
Right. Okay, so in the near future, what's in the near future for you?
So right now,
well, I mean to cut you off, but you have some type of charity that's going on where you
I'm opening up my own school.
On your own school, okay, let's talk about that.
I'm opening up my own school of photography. I just feel like at this point in my career, not to say that I've reached the level of success all the way where I want to go, but I think I've reached a certain level where I have a level of influence and a level of inspiration I hold over people that want to come and do what I want to do.
Right.
And I think it's a lot of misconceptions in this industry about me and my career, about what it takes to be a photographer, what it takes to be successful in this industry as a photographer. And I want to take the time now to actually reach that next generation. Like, I'm 28 years old. I've come across 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds that say they bought their first camera because of me, or they want to do this because of me. And for me, it's important for me to reach back and just give them a little bit of the way, the way to go, like something that I didn't have.
Where did you gain your interest in photography? Like, what was the defining moment where you say, hey, you know what, this is what I want to do? Like,
to be honest, it's been around me my whole life. I think it's probably something I've been running from. Everything from, I just thought about this recently, everything just from my name. My real name is Cameron.
Cameron.
So for sure, I've always been Cam. Obviously, people could stand for a camera. My dad's a photographer. So my dad's been a photographer for 30 years.
There you go.
Hey,
there's my answer.
It's been around me forever. I've always had a studio in my crib.
There's my answer right there.
Yeah, but he shoots weddings and prom, like stuff that I never was into. So growing up, when I wanted to get allowance of $50 for this, $50 for that, I would have to go help him.
Right.
So to be honest, in a way, he pushed me away from it a little bit because it was always seen as like, oh my God, I gotta put on the suit because he's in that world.
Right,
you gotta show up suited up,
and you're like,
professional. I'm like, I ain't trying
wanna...
to do that. Like, to take some photos.
You wanna wear your Yeezys?
Yeah, I wanna come through clean.
Come through my Yeezys. You wanna take a photo, baby?
So when I moved to Atlanta, and I was able to marry the music industry side of it with photography, then I was like, okay, that's the connection for me. That's what I enjoy.
Young artists, young models. How do they get in contact with you? Say I need this guy to shoot my stuff. I love his work. How does one get in contact with you?
I'm pretty accessible. I never try to be like too out of the way, you know what I mean? But you can reach me on Instagram. I don't respond to every DM, but every now and then I sift through and try to reach back and answer a few questions or field a few inquiries. But you can reach me on Instagram at thecamkirk.com. That's TheCamKirk. At thecamkirk. My website is thecamkirk.com. Every social ad is thecamkirk.
Right.
So you can reach me there. I'm pretty accessible.
I want to get your expertise.
Yeah.
So is the camera angle good right here? Is that?
Man, I gotta check. You know what I mean? It's a little high.
It's a little high, or the resolution's off. All right.
The angle is right.
All right. Okay. We
seems like you know what he's doing. Y'all been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, we're gonna fix that. I just want to make sure we okay.
Yeah, I think we good.
We good. All right. So let's talk camera equipment. What's your weapon of choice? What type of camera do you use?
Man, I'm a Canon guy.
A Canon?
Yeah.
No, you getting paid by Canon to say that?
I'm not. I wish.
He wish. Canon, what's up?
Yeah, what's up?
What's up?
Please.
Come on, give him his 80% and give you my 20.
Yeah.
Come on, what's
we
up?
Got to. You owe. If I get a check from this, you owe.
What's up, baby?
Nah, I don't get paid by them, but you know the user friendliness of the Canon has always been my favorite. I shoot with a Canon 5D Mark III.
5D Mark III.
I've been experimenting lately with film. I copped a couple new film cameras.
Okay.
I just copped the Sony RX, a little point and shoot, a little pocket rocket, what I call it. Just something I can travel with. But usually my main shots are done with a Canon 5D Mark III.
5D. So you haven't branched off into music videos or anything like that?
I've done a couple music videos.
Anything that we can see?
I hope. I shot Freak No More for the Migos.
Oh.
I shot again.
He's modest, man.
Yeah.
I shot Freak No More for Migos. He did all 10 million. You know.
I shot again for Young Thug and Gucci.
Come on, man.
I shot Language for Young Thug. I shot some more for Young Thug. Too Short for Rich Homie Quan. I shot.
Showing off now.
Yeah, I've shot a couple, but I kind of stopped doing videos for a while. Like,
okay.
Videos require just too much.
Right.
Like you gotta have your lighting team, you gotta have your producer, you gotta have your director, your camera ops. Not to say that I don't like working with a team, but I can get busy by myself with the photography. I don't need all of those setups. So for a while coming out of Atlanta, and it has a lot to do with just my relationships with artists. It's like I usually get hit up on the fly to do a lot of the work I do. So it's not a lot of preparation time. To really pull off a successful video, you need budget, preparation, you need all of those factors, and it's so much deeper than just one man. Photography, I felt, was like a one-man thing, at least at the outset. Now, as we get in bigger shoots, we're building out a team to be on set, but I could kind of get busy with just me, my camera, the subject, you know what I mean?
Real quick, what kind of advice would you give a young up-and-coming photographer that want to get into the business? Yeah,
the best advice I can give you is, this is a business. So, you know, treat it as such. You know what I mean? We have fun. You know, you might see us in the club sometimes, but it's a business, at least on my end.
Right.
You know what I mean? And most successful people, they treat it that way. So number one, treat it professionally and as a business, take it serious. Also at the same time, you know, study your craft, perfect your craft. You know what I mean? You won't even flip the burgers at McDonald's without going through training. So you're not about to be a successful photographer without reading your manual, reading some books on it, something. Like, take some time to actually learn it if you really want to do it. And then I always say, man, like, don't look at me as shooting celebrities. You know what I mean? I shoot celebrities because they're celebrities now. When I first started shooting a lot of these artists, they weren't celebrities. You know, they were people we built up together with. And then now we all have, you know, shared some success in it, but I didn't start out my career just fishing for the biggest celebrity, you know what I mean, or trying to only work with big names. I work with people that allow me to work with them. And we built it up together. So look for an artist that you can build up with and grow together with, and then y'all start y'all stuff together.
All right, that and it's business.
It's definitely business.
When you see him at Blue Flame, tipping the strippers, that's business.
That's business. Business expense.
All right, that's
write-offs.
That's all write-offs. That's all it is.
Yeah, of course.
Remember that. So that's what it is, man. DJ Thorough, man. This is 50, hottest in the streets, man. When you see us, one knee us. I mean, pay respects. We out.
Yeah.